Welcome, it's Anson DIY, and today we're going to be replacing this utility light fixture. As you can see here, this is the after, but this is the before.
Now, if your fixture is in the basement, the garage, or anywhere else that's a utility space, you may be looking to fix it, like ours, because it's actually broken, and the light won't turn on, or maybe you want to replace one that doesn't have an outlet to include one that does have an outlet for more utility. So we're going to open this up and replace this. So follow along for our best tips, tricks, and advice in doing this. It's pretty straightforward, and pretty much anybody that's handy can do it. First things first, you always want to be safe, so you want to turn off the correct breaker or fuse to the light. Then I unplug the existing wiring and light adapter that's currently in this broken fixture. And I'm actually using a new Ryobi electric screwdriver that I recently got. Be sure to click above for a video of that. This thing is invaluable and has saved me a ton of wrist and hand pain. But it's just 2 screws holding this into the junction box, so it comes out pretty simply. Just make sure that you're supporting it when it does drop, just in case. Once you get it down and it's accessible, you'll quickly see that most of these utility fixtures only have 2 screws, one to the hot and one to the common. In our case, we have all conduit, so the ground is actually built into the side of the fixture. So it's only 2 wires that make this go. So it's a pretty straightforward fix. You just want to make absolutely 100% sure that you got the right breaker. So get yourself a voltage tester. Put it on those wires to make sure that you get no chirping sound or light, and you know you got the electric cut to it. Once that's done, go ahead and unscrew those 2 posts so you can get the common and you can get the hot. Now, remember which color post. The actual screws will be colored. Typically, one is brass colored and one is silver. So make sure that you put those back the way you found them. Then we're going to go ahead and get our new fixture out. Now, again, we're going with a fixture that has a plug available on it because we want that extra utility. But you see right here, that little silver tab, that's our ground in this case for our setup. Your setup may be different if you have Romex or BX or plastic junction boxes. So be sure that you know what your setup is. Although I did almost drop this, I was able to hold it. And we do have a lot of lighting going, but the thing that's unique about our fixtures is they use this inner screw hole. So we got to punch out the porcelain on that because it comes preset to the new standard, which is the outer screw hole for larger junction boxes. So just know which one you have. I tried a couple different methods, and just like they always tell you, the right tool makes the job easy. So I finally got my center hole punch out, which you'll see in a second, and it made quick work of this. I tried using just the screw itself, and it was a little difficult. So make sure if you do have to do this that you get a good center hole punch, and I'll show you what that looks like because it knocks this out in 2 seconds. Now that we got both the appropriate holes chiseled out, this is a center hole punch. So they're real easy. A lot of times they're sold with screwdriver sets. So this is the perfect use for them at the perfect time. So go ahead and get those knocked out and then line it back up to the ceiling with your junction box. Now, before I go up there, I always like to pre-drill the screws a little bit into the porcelain. I also like to unscrew the terminals so that way they're ready to accept the wires. It makes it a little easier instead of trying to do that overhead. Now again, you should have written down or remembered which lead wire goes to which colored screw. They are the same, so you just want to go ahead and get those connected up. Now yours may be unlooped. Ours continue because the electric goes to other outlets throughout the house, but if they're just wound, you want to go ahead and put that on and then screw clockwise. Since ours are looped, it's a little easier, but you want to go ahead and after you put that on, so you're not exposing or hitting, making contact, you want to squeeze those down so they're good and tight and clean on the back of the fixture. Stay tuned for dad and son dialogue while they're working in tight spaces. You didn't think I was going to move my head?
I kind of didn't.
So in addition to making sure your terminals are tight and your wires are squeezed and out of the way of each other, you also want to make sure that you got an extra set of hands for this. Because again, we're in the basement, so there's no other lighting once I trip this breaker. So you'll see that there's somebody holding a flashlight for me. In addition to that, there's actually a flashlight that's on the ground. It's a utility spotlight that helped a ton.
Can I stop recording?
Not yet. Now, when you're ready to put this in, a great tip is first pre-screw these a little bit so you can line up the holes with the junction box. And then number two is it makes it a little bit easier to stand on a stepping stool so that way you can see them going in, because you don't want to cross thread these. You cross thread these, you'll have a real difficult time, and then you may have to replace this adapter on the junction box, because once it's stripped out, unless you got to tap and die. But get a step stool. It'll make your life a whole lot easier so that way you can see and line up the screws appropriately. But then just go in one at a time, a little bit at a time, so it goes in evenly. Also, being on a step stool or riser will allow you to look in to make sure you're not clamping against any wires, and that your wires are neatly and not bunched tucked back into the junction box for safety and a clean install. Once you're done, go ahead and flip that breaker back on and then give it a test. And we like to keep the cords clean. We're taller, so we don't need to unwind them, but that's completely optional. But it fired right back up. So we got this fixed in a matter of minutes, saved ourselves a ton of money, and we retained the use of that plug. We also use this adapter because then again, it gives us extra outlet utility if we ever do need an extra outlet here and there. So also a great tip for you. So if you like this video, you like easy home DIYs for every family, be sure to hit that subscribe and hit that like button, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.